Okay, so this is the masa madre. There's a little bit of liquid there. I just had this in the fridge. So I open it. I just kind of stir all that liquid back in. Okay, I use a chopstick to stir. All right, then I get 100 grams of water and 100 grams of flour, all-purpose flour, or you could use bread flour, it has more gluten. Please don't move it, Adri. Okay. And then last, I get just 10 grams of starter. Well, looks like I got like 30 grams of starter, but that's okay. It just means that it'll go fat. It'll be ready sooner. Okay, and then I mix it all together. And this looks like that, just like a paste. Okay, and then I cover this, and let me see, where do I have a cover? So now I cover this, and I leave it at room temperature and I can see that it's here, so when it starts to rise and there's all these little bubbles, I know it's ready, and that's when I can use it. And then this masa madre, I basically just put the cap back on and I put this in the fridge until I want to make bread again. So now we have to wait about 6 to 12 hours for that to start to bubble and be ready. And actually, let's see if I can make it be ready sooner by adding more bug. So there'll be more bugs to eat the flour, and then maybe it'll be ready sooner, and I can show you sooner to do. So let me put a little more bug. Typically just 10 grams is what they recommend. But I found that if you put more bugs, then there's more bugs to start the process. So it'll go faster. Maybe it'll take 6 hours instead of 12. Okay. So I'll see you in 6 to 12 hours when this starts to bubble. Okay, so it's been more than 6 hours, and you can see that it was here and it grew to here. You can actually see it grew a little, yeah, it grew to here, but it's too late for me to make bread. So look, see how it's all nice and bubbly? So I'm gonna make more. And here's what I keep in the, I make more because it's really late. So tomorrow morning, it'll be 12 hours. So it's 10 p.m. So by 10 a.m., I'll be ready to make bread tomorrow. It's too late. I did it too late. So it's all bubbly, the sourdough bread. Okay, so what I do is I have 100 grams of water in here. Again, same thing. And I'm just gonna put like 10 grams of the bug. So there's about 10, a little more, yeah. Okay, and then I am going to put 100 grams, so I'm gonna zero this. And Adri, will you give me another spoon? And I'm gonna put 100 grams of the flour in here. And one way that you can tell that this is ready is, look, see what I just put in there? Do you see how it's floating? That's important. You want it to float. So that means that it's alive, that there's bugs in there. So again, I'm gonna put 100 of the flour. Okay, so that's about 100. And then take the chopstick and I'm gonna stir this until it's all really well combined. And then I'm gonna cover this. and I'm gonna set it in a warm spot, and tomorrow it should be ready by 10 a.m. So now with this stuff, so this is the one you saw me make earlier, the exact same way. There's my jug that goes in the fridge. So people throw this away. I keep the bug. And that's because Bati and Adri like to make pancakes with it. Like I can show you. I can send you the video of the recipe, and it's super simple. And when it sits in the fridge, that liquid, that's just the byproducts. It keeps fermenting in the fridge. So I just cover this, and you keep this in your fridge, and you can keep it in there basically forever. The teacher I had, she had hers in there for like 3 years. So tomorrow, see you tomorrow. Okay, so here's the bug this morning. I'm a little bit late, but what the bug does is when you feed it flour and water, is it grows, and then when it's done eating, it goes back to bed, and it'll deflate. It'll come all the way back down to here, if not even more. So you want to use it when it's on the rise. So I'm gonna start with, so here's, now I'm making the bread, and it's a 3 to 4 hour process. So I have 375 grams of water. I use filtered water, but I think you can use any water. And now I'm taking the bug, okay? And I'm gonna zero the scale, and I need 100 grams of the bug. And you can see that the bug is ready, because look, do you see how it floats? If it were to sink, it means it's not ready to make bread. So 100 grams and 375 grams of water. This makes one big loaf. Of course, you can make more of the recipe or less of the recipe, depending on how big you want your bread loaf to be. All right, so that's 100 grams. And then this, I could either feed it to make more bread, I could put it in the fridge and it'll be a new bug, or I can throw it away. Okay, so now that I have this ready, you want to mix this really well so that the water and the bugs, your masa madre is what it's called, get mixed in together really good. Okay, that looks like it's mixed in really good. So I'm gonna, see, it's mixed in really good. So I'm gonna set that aside. I'm gonna get the bowl and the scale. I'm gonna zero the scale. And I'm going to put 100 grams of whole wheat flour. So it's just whole wheat flour. So 100 grams. I like the King Arthur brand, the flour. Okay, so it's 100 grams. And then I'm going to put, I'm going to zero the scale again. I'm going to put 400 grams of just all-purpose flour. Also King Arthur brand. So 400 grams. There we go. And now I'm just going to mix the flours together. Don't need the scale anymore. Once the flours are mixed together, I'm just going to take the bug in the water and pour it in.
Oh, Dad, you said that was one, right? Yes.
And now I just want to mix the bug and the flours together just until it's all incorporated. It's going to be sticky, icky. But you just want to mix it until it's, all, can you see? Let's see, there you go. Just until it's all mixed together. Adri, will you hold the camera so that Lolo can just see the bowl? I just want him to see the texture. Here. So when you mix, you want to, I don't know, can you see it? You want to go, no, the bowl. Yeah. You sure he can see the bowl? There, from right there. So you want to go in and then twist your wrist. You want to do it just with one hand. So one hand's holding the bowl, the other hand is just in and then twist, in and twist. And you really could do this with like maybe a wooden spoon, but you're not trying to knead the dough. You just want all the flour and the water and the masa madre to just get mixed in. Nope. Keep it there, please. So then you just want to get this off your hands. And then what you're gonna do, and see, it looks like a messy, sticky, icky mess. So you're gonna put a timer on now for 20 minutes, and you're gonna add in the salt in 20 minutes because salt kills the bugs. It kills yeast. So that's why you want to wait and add the salt later. Now that is something that is a controversial topic. Some people add the salt right away. Some people wait 20 minutes because I learned to just wait 20 minutes. I wait 20 minutes. So you're gonna cover this, I'm gonna cover this with plastic. And in 20 minutes, I'll see you again and we'll do salt. Okay. Okay, it's been 20 minutes. And so now I'm gonna measure out 10 grams of salt. Every salt weighs a different amount, which is why they tell you to weigh it. Depends on how fine it is or how coarse it is. Okay, so there's like 10 grams of salt. And now here's my bowl. I'm just gonna sprinkle it on top. Kind of sprinkle it all over it so if you can see it. So I just sprinkled the salt all over. No idea if you can even see that. And then again, I'm just gonna hold with one hand, and with the other hand, I'm just gonna go in and twist until I get all the salt, until I can't feel the salt on the dough. So just mix it in. And like I said, some people do this, add the salt right away in the beginning. And some people say to wait, so. All right, I'm gonna cover it back up. And now I'm gonna set the timer for 1 hour, and I'll show you what I do every hour for 3 to 4 hours. And then you're done, basically. Then you ferment. So, some people say to do this every 30 minutes. I have found that doing it every 1 hour for 3 to 4 hours works just as well as doing it every 30 minutes for 3 to 4 hours. So you can either do it every hour or you can do it every 30 minutes. Okay, so here it is. It's been 1 hour. And so this is what you do is you take it and then you take your hand and you're gonna fold it. So you're gonna grab it and you're gonna fold it into the middle. Then you're gonna turn the bowl, fold it, put it in the middle. The middle, so this is called folding. And you go all the way around the circle twice. Okay, so going in. So that's one way around. Now I'm gonna do it one more time. And just from the feel of the dough, I think I'm going to set the alarm to do this every 30 minutes instead of every hour for the next 2 hours. Okay, so that's it. Now I cover it. Okay, Google, set timer for 30 minutes.
All right, 30 minutes, starting now.
Yeah, it has been 30 minutes. Here it is. So see, it's a lot less stickier than it was. So again, take it to the center, take it to the center, take some to the center, lift it up to the center, so center, and keep going all the way around. The dough is feeling a lot smoother. Okay, and then one more time all the way around. Okay, cover it. Okay, Google, set timer for 30 minutes.
Okay, 30 minutes. Starting now.
And just keep doing this for 3 to 4 hours, and then you shape it, and then it's ready to ferment for 3 days in the fridge. So, goodbye. Okay, it's been like 4 hours, and so now it's time to shape the bread dough. So what I do is if you don't have one of these that you can get on Amazon, then what you do is you just use parchment paper instead and put it in a bowl. Any bowl will work. So this is rice flour that I'm using because rice flour doesn't incorporate into wheat flour. So it'll keep it from sticking. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of flour just on the surface. So this is called shaping the bread dough. I don't want too much flour. Okay, now I'm just going to get this out of here. And I want to try to not rip it as much as possible. Okay, and I'm only putting a little bit of flour just because I don't want it to stick to the counter. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half, and then the other half, and then this half, and this half, okay? So, see that was like half, 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 half. And now I'm going to take the corners, and I'm going to put the corners in the middle, corner in the middle, corner in the middle, 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 in the middle. And now I'm going to flip it, but I wanted to use a surface that doesn't have flour or too much flour, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go like this. I don't know if you can see that, but I put my hands like this, and then if there's too much flour, then it won't slide, because what you're trying to do is create tension at the top, make this top be like tight. Okay, so again, just go like this, and again, go like this. So put my hands right there, and then I kind of slide it towards me, always towards you. Okay, so see, like this. And if this was all full of flour, then it wouldn't create the tension. So it's okay to have a little bit of flour at the top, but not at the bottom. So it's like this, and I keep doing this until I can see that the top is like a tight ball. Okay, and now that it's a tight ball like this, what I do is I just flip it into the bowl. And so if you don't have one of these, this would be parchment paper or a regular bowl, like a glass bowl with rice flour. Can you please come over here? No, I didn't. And then what I'm gonna do now is cover it with a piece of plastic wrap, and I'm gonna let it rise just until it gets to like right here, just until this grows a little bit, and then I'm gonna put it in the fridge to ferment for 2 to 3 days. So here is the bread. I just got it out of the fridge, really cold. And this is the pan that I use. It's called a Dutch oven, cast iron. And the reason that you want to use something like this that has a cover is because the ovens at home, we don't have a steam function. So this works just like a steam oven where professional bakers bake bread. So I want to put, this has to be preheated in the oven before I put the bread in there. So I'm gonna put this in the oven at 500 degrees Fahrenheit right now to get this hot. Okay, so here's parchment paper. The oven is hot. The Dutch oven, that big pot, has been in the oven now for about 15 minutes or something. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put this bread here. I'm just gonna dump it, basically. And then I have here this white stuff. This is rice flour. And this is what makes it so that the cuts you make on the bread show up, because it doesn't blend in with the flour of the bread. So this has been in the fridge fermenting, so fermentation for, I guess, 3 days. So this is how I'm gonna cut it. This is like artwork. There's a bunch of ways to cut it. The whole purpose of cutting it is just to release the gas when it bakes. So I'm just gonna cut it on one side like that, and then on the other side. So this is just a sharp blade. And then I'm just gonna make little decorative cuts. And because of the rice flour, you're gonna be able to see the cuts because of the rice flour. So I could put more rice flour and then you'd be able to see it even more. So maybe who cares? I don't need any more. Okay, so now about the, walk with me so that I can show them how you put it in. Or actually just stop it and then we'll turn it. Okay, it's been 25 minutes, so now I'm gonna turn the oven down to 470. And the purpose now for the last 7 to 15 minutes, you take the lid off so it is uncovered. So the bread should already be cooked through. So now the whole purpose is to cook the crust. So it depends on how dark you like the crust. Everyone is different. So now, okay, Google, set timer for 10 minutes. So another 10 minutes at 470.
And we're starting now.
I'm going to, so just leave it right here, Peppy. Yeah, right there. I'm gonna take this out. This is really hot. And I'm gonna put this in here with the parchment paper, just so it doesn't stick to the pan. Just makes it easier. And now I'm gonna cook it in the oven at 500 degree Fahrenheit for 25 minutes. And then then I'll show you what I do. So 25 minutes. Okay, Google, set timer for 25 minutes.